Well, thank you for joining. I know you're pretty busy. My name is Ashura. I'm rep with the next come up. How are you today?
Running around with this little one. It's I'm telling you, every day it's a different challenge. Actually, today's especially because today's my off day from
Mhm.
Broadway. Today is actually one of those like rare days that I could just spend with the family, just cool out and really just lock in with the fam. It was beautiful
Mhm,
today.
mhm. Okay, okay.
Modest to let you know, but he just announced that he has a single coming out on Friday today. So it's a good day.
Oh, that was one of my questions, how about the transition to acting.
I started off in acting. I've been acting. I think acting really popped off for me first when I was about 13, 14 years old, when I was doing like Miracles Boys and The Wire and everything like that.
Mhm.
Then from there, after finishing up 90210, we jumped into music. Music is and has been and always will be great. And then I was able to start to find balance between the two. So that's what these last few seasons of my life has been, really just finding that balance of being able to be as creative as I want to be and not putting a limit on myself.
Okay, okay. So let's talk about the movie. So
Okay.
tell me about the short film. How do you think it benefits people? Tell me a little bit.
Oh, how do I think it benefits people?
Mm.
Man. Um, I think right now we're in a day and age where people want to hear real life stories. People want to hear things that are going on in people's lives, and people want to connect with people on a realer level.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of times what's more real or funny or anything than actual life. So me and Greg, we have tons of stories, but we really have like this box of stories that we constantly choose from, of things that literally stem from our lives, things that have gone on with us, and we constantly say there's no way that this could have happened.
Mhm.
It's so true. It's
Mhm.
so true, and it happens so often that us as artists, we're like,
Mhm.
we want to not only reflect the times, but we want to reflect the times in our lives where we are right now. So
Okay.
yeah, I think it's necessary. Would you go ahead, Greg?
A lot of parallelism because he'll have something that happened to him and start telling me the story, and I'm
Mhm.
laughing because I'm like, oh, I already lived this one.
Mhm.
I'll have something that happen to me, and I'll be like, yo, this, and he's like, oh, I
Mhm.
already know where this is going. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm. Okay. So how about let's talk about the budget. Do you believe that you need a certain budget to make a quality film?
Nah.
No?
Yeah. Yes and no. Yes and no. The What I'll say is, um, my uncle has this great saying,
Mhm.
where he says, "If you want something done quick, you're gonna need money. If
Yes.
you want something to take a little more time, but you want to make sure that it's done right, you're gonna need more
Mhm.
time." So in movies, whenever you're shooting any type of film or anything, you're always going to run into those two variables, time and money. Sometimes you don't have enough time, sometimes you don't have enough money. But the way that you get something beautiful is that when something is lacking, you find the balance in the other.
Mhm.
So I do think it's possible. I very much do think it's possible. It's gonna take probably more time than
Mhm.
you like. It's not gonna be as fast as anything else,
Yeah.
right? The more time that you take, the more that you know craft it in a certain way, craft the idea of what you're shooting, the tone of what you're shooting. I think you can make something amazing.
Okay, okay. How was your casting process? How was that? How did you cast?
Go ahead, G Stack, you can take that one.
That's Tell us a little about the
um,
casting.
so it's funny because a lot of times we like to. A lot of times when we're writing, like
Mhm.
we kind of have people in mind. So
Mm.
for example, we have Shannon Thornton starring alongside Mack from P Valley. She's one of the like hottest rising actresses. And when we wrote the script and we were thinking about this character Nicole, we were just like, yo, we need somebody that can make this pop. We need
Mhm.
somebody who who can really perform, who has a dynamic look, who just has the feel of, that's just gonna make people's hearts melt when they're watching this film.
Definitely.
And we literally, we just said Shannon Thornton that, like, it gotta be Shannon Thornton. Like, she was the only person we really thought of for it. And, you know, we just reached out, and she wanted to play. She was like, yo, I would love to. And this is in the middle of the pandemic, and she was excited to do it. And, you know, we were able to get her on board. But the cast is amazing. Like, we have Shannon Thornton, who's in P-Valley. We have Deshawn Andrea White, who played Jess. And Deshawn was just on Hulu's Wu-Tang American Saga.
Yep.
She just did a Katori Hall play. Katori Hall is the same playwright who wrote The Mountaintop on Broadway, and she just did a rendition of that down in Jacksonville.
P-Valley is Katori's, right?
Katori Hall wrote P-Valley also, yeah. So we got that Katori connection. And then we have Joshua Neal, who's this social media star, who Mack just found him, following him on social media, and was just
Really?
I think the kid's just a star.
Interesting.
And I didn't know if he could do it. I was doubtful, and he blew
He
us
did it
away.
well. He was good. I watched the movie, so you know he was good too. I thought everybody was good.
Yeah, and then we have Shakia Dixon, who's a newcomer, but she's actually somebody who I've known for years from when I was growing up, and I never knew she could act. And she just told me she wanted to audition, and when she got in that audition room, she came in there with a machete and just started
Really?
chopping everything up. Yeah.
Good. Okay. So you filmed this during the pandemic. How long did it take you to film this movie?
2 days, Greg?
Oh, really?
I think it was a 3-day process, because we had 1 day of like rehearsals and
Yeah. We had the 1 day of travel and rehearsal. Then we actually, like,
it
cameras
was 4
were
days
up
all together.
Oh,
Yeah, 2 days of travel.
Okay.
At the beginning and at the end, and then we had the 2 days that we actually shot of actual production. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I'm curious. Tell me about the candle, the importance and how it's connected. Tell me about that. Tell me about the candle.
Whenever we shoot something, we understand that movies are an experience. Going to the movie theater itself is an experience, right? You know, you go get the popcorn, you go get your your jujubes, your M&Ms, whatever you eat, like you get your whole little situation. You sit in the theater, it's big, it's whatever, you know, you have that moment with the crowd, or if the theater is empty by yourself, but you have that moment and you create an experience. Because of the time that we're in, you know, we're in a time that a lot of people aren't going to the movie theater as much, especially not to see short films when it's, unless these until the world opens all the way back up. Me and Greg are constantly looking for ways to make our movies full-on experiences. And it started with a movie that Greg did that I helped produce called Anime. Just kind of creating another experience behind it besides just watching the movie, having the people be able to leave with something more than just the word that they grasped from the film, just something that, you know, whether it's a t-shirt, and ironically enough, I didn't even realize, but I had my anime t-shirt on today.
Okay. I see it.
But you know, we have like things, t-shirts, hats, just different things that kind of people can move around with. So when we were talking about what the experience was for this, Greg said, yo, I have a homegirl who works with candles and this, that, and the third, and I think it'll be a really dope vibe just because of the vibe of the movie. He's like, so like what type of, we started just joking around, what kind of scents would you want? And I'm like, you know, I think it has to be something that feels like a man, but also feels like a woman. So creating a scent with Palo Santo and lavender, it gives that the idea, the feeling of like when a boy meets a girl. And the company, Wick and Glow, it's Wick and Glow, right, Greg?
Yeah, Wick and Glow.
Yeah, so the company Wick and Glow also curates a playlist for every candle that they do, just to kind of build on the experience. So they asked about our playlist, and for me, whenever I'm writing anything, writing a script, if I'm breaking down a character, I like to have kind of a playlist that gives me something to move with, that that I'm feeling as I'm writing said script, breaking down a character, whatever. So I literally just gave her the playlist that I had when I was writing Mean Nuthin, and yeah, the rest was history.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, Mack curated the set, and he curated the playlist as well. And Wick and Glow is a Black-owned company, and ironically enough, when we filmed, it was right before Christmas, and I actually had brought a set of Wick and Glow candles for the entire cast and crew. I gifted it to them, so it came full circle where it was like she had all these film-inspired candles, like Boomerang, Love Jones, and I was gifting them, and then it just hit me like, she's doing these film-inspired candles, and it's Black-owned company, and I'm like, why don't we have one inspired by our film? So let's bring it to life.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, as a director, did anything go wrong while filming, and what? I'm sure a couple things had to have gone wrong with the smile on your face.
No, you know what? It was I think one lesson that I've learned from a few amazing directors is the way that you compensate for all of the things that can go wrong during production is do a lot of pre-production. Pre-production, me and Greg were going at it, like making sure that we crossed every T, dotted every I. Okay, we got to shoot this. We got to get this. I need a few setups like this, that, and the third. Okay, make sure that we get this. Make sure you have this piece so that we can get this shot looking like this, blah, 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 blah. We did a lot. I think the only time that we didn't get something that we really wanted, and it's something that a lot of people wouldn't even catch. It's something during the dream sequence. But other than that, we pretty much captured everything that we wanted to, and had a little bit of time to have fun at the end, and do work with some different shots. But yeah, that was pretty much it.
Okay. So I know you're very busy, so I just have a couple more questions, but tell me this, for those young filmmakers that wasn't accepted in the festival, what advice would you give them?
Don't let this be a barometer of whether your stuff is good or not. The festivals are cool. Everybody, it's not a lie. The festivals are cool, but what you need to shoot for, what me and Greg constantly shoot for, are the acceptance of our friends, of our peers, the people that we're making. That's who we're making these films for. We're making these films that we know if we get a group of our friends in the theater and press play, they're gonna be like, oh, that's crazy. Like that's what we do it for. So continue to focus on that, and everything else will come. You focus on the accolades and the money and all of that stuff. You probably won't get where you really want to be, where you'll be most happy. Focus on the creativity, focus on the journey of it, the things that you learn about yourself and how you work during those long hours, during the time that the cast goes home and y'all are trying to figure out how to dump footage and like that's the fun part, is the journey, not where you're going.
Okay.
Just remember that.
Okay. Well, thank you. Well, my final question, I just want to know, where can people follow you on social media?
At everywhere at Mack Wild. It's very simple. MackWilds. Very, very simple.
Okay. Well, I just want to thank the both of you for taking the time to speak with me. And I appreciate it. I know you're very busy. So I just wanted to keep it brief. I wanted to keep it brief, but I just appreciate it.
One thing I wanted to add really quick is that the film has an Instagram page also.
Oh, okay.
At Wouldn't Mean Nuthin. No G on that. At Wouldn't Mean Nuthin. And there's a cool experience on that Instagram page as well for people to go check out.
Okay. Well, thank the both of you for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there's a field. I'll meet you there.
Why the fuck do you still have this book out, my nigga? You not write shit in there. Inspiration is like waves, okay? Look, they come and they go, and if you ain't on your board when it hits, you'll miss it.
Okay, so what's the craziest place you've ever had sex?
Ooh, okay. The craziest.
Alexander?
Nikki.
Hey!
Hey.
So are you guys friends or something?